Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Jeff Horowitz with Dentists in the Know. Well, you know who I am already. But we're at Chicago Midwinter, our favorite place to be. Why? Because we get together with great old friends. They're not old, I'm old, but they're old friends, if you know what I mean. I am with Nicole Russell and Russ Perlman from VOCO, one of our great educational partners, a company that I've worked with for so many years, so many great products, guys. And welcome to the show, first of all. Great to have you.
Thank you.
You enjoying your time in Chicago?
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
Day one. Got
Day
shot
one.
out
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
cannon.
yeah.
That's right.
It's a
Moving
marathon.
agreement.
Yeah. No sprinting on this one. But you guys have a great product launch that you're here to talk about. And I've used a lot of your composites, but you got a little bit of a game changer now, do you?
Do.
All right, so tell us about Grandioso for you.
Definitely. I mean, this is a product that really is kind of taking on the next evolution of where composites can go, somewhat similarly to what we saw with the adhesives in this industry. Clearly, when you're as a dentist, you're trying to be as efficient as possible, but obviously you have to maintain a level of quality of patient care, and so you're always looking at how can the products that you utilize help you achieve that efficiency. And so what we looked at in Grandioso for You is something that can take the evolution we saw in adhesives and apply it to the composites category.
Okay.
When you look at the average dentist, you're looking at least 2 to 3 composite systems that they have in place. And that was similar to what we saw in adhesives. You need numerous different adhesives. And when universals came along, that really helped streamline a lot of dentists' armamentarium to help them achieve what they're looking for, is to make things be more consistent, less variables, move faster, streamline their inventory. So in Grandioso for You, what we did is we added a new innovation and gathered all the technology that has really come out over the last 20 years. When you look at different types of composites, whether we talk about the universals that were introduced in the 2000s, to the bulk fills, to the single shades, and then the cluster shades, and really bring that all into one material within the Grandioso line, which has its own set of history as a very tooth-like material, one that has very high fill rates, and something that with very low shrinkage. So that's really what we're talking about with Grandioso for You, and excited to get into it.
That's awesome. So what were some of the other friction points that you were seeing with composites in dentistry? I mean, you guys have great materials. It's not like you had to have a new composite because your systems were amazing. But what were some of the other pain points that dentists were feeling, or that you kind of got the vibe that they were feeling, that you said, you know what, we can rework this again and make it way better?
Simplicity. I mean, and I think that goes just outside dental. In general, the world we live in, everything is more expensive and there's more of it. So if you can save time, hence the bulk fill properties of this, you can limit your inventory, so you're paying.
So everything, all the shades curable to 4 millimeters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. So there's 5 total shades.
Okay.
What we've done is taken the entire Vita shade spectrum and consolidated into 5 separate cluster shades. There are 2 addendum shades that do have different cure times for your opaque and bleach needs.
Right.
Probably more specific to the U.S. market, but
Yeah.
essentially it is 5 shades that are all 4 millimeters depth of cure. So you're not wasting material, you're inventorying only what you need, and you're getting in and out quicker.
Yeah.
And it truly is universal. So all of the opinion leader evaluators that served on the launch of this product, the feedback's been unprecedented, really, because it is a workhorse based on its physical properties, but it's beautiful in the anterior.
And there were several that had come out. There was kind of this trend to get everything down to, 1 or 2 shades. I never found one that could really satisfy.
With some limitations.
Yeah, a lot of limitations. So I think you may have found a sweet spot here where you've
Somewhere
really
in the
kind of
middle.
limited the amount of inventory that people have to have, but you're going to be able to serve the entire population with it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
There's really a science behind it when you kind of look at the shading aspect. It was going from, the 2000s, we had 45 shades. And at one point that was like cool, but then it was really inefficient. and a lot of waste.
It was cool if you were lecturing,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
it even wasn't cool then, because I mean, just keeping up with the inventory of that was like the one you needed was never there,
Right.
you know, and
And
like,
likely that was only one of two systems.
Yeah.
You also had
that's
something
right.
for posterior.
absolutely.
And so when we get back to the science of that, what we kind of raced into is the bulk fill got us to one place as far as being more efficient in the posterior, but then it came into that, can we do this in a single shade? And I think we found that you can do a lot, but can you do it all? There's gaps. And
Right.
I think the science that we came to that we were kind of talking about is what is the science of the shading and the coloring that really can capture those 16 traditional Vita shades. And so with our cluster shade system, it's 5 shades that really able to efficiently and effectively, more importantly, capture those 16 traditional Vita shades. So now you can do something not just in the posterior, but you can do something in the anterior. But we needed another piece of innovation to be able to achieve that, and that was visual transformation technology.
Let's hear about this.
So this was what I think really kind of brought it all together, because the visual transformation technology is essentially the ability or the capability for the material to be extremely translucent before it's cured, and then as it cures, it actually becomes more opaque. So now you have something that gives you, when it's done, something in natural aesthetics that traditional bulk fill and single shades weren't able to give you, because part of what they had to do to achieve that was it had to be
It
translucent.
had to be very translucent, 100%. Yeah, that made it really difficult to use in a lot of cases.
Correct.
So one of the other things that VOCO has always been amazing at, and by the way, I know you've all heard this before, but VOCO was nice enough to take some of the KOLs over to Cuxhaven, Germany, and see, you know, where all the magic happens. And I was so blown away by this. Yes, it was fun, but I was blown away. Number one, because you could literally lick the floors in there. I mean, it was that spotless. But the amount of R&D that was going on, the amount of separate closed rooms with different scientists working on different physical properties for different materials, that was really the thing that blew me away more than anything. So you guys have always been dedicated to optimal physical property. We'll talk about Grandio block, because that's one of my staples in my practice. But what are some of the great physical property characteristics of Grandioso for you that, aside from the shading, some of the physical characteristics and how it behaves functionally that you think make this a great material?
One of the things that kind of comes from the Grandioso line has really been what is going to make the material move and in the end preserve that margin, right? Which is so critical, because if we don't preserve that margin, that's where we get the opportunity for bacteria and what have you to create decay. And so the two of the many things that they looked at when it came to the physical properties was thermocycling and modulus of elasticity. And those two areas, well, it gets to the technical side, but it's important to understand the actual performance of the material and why it lasts as long as it does. And so it moves with the surrounding tooth structure. It's going to, as the tooth structure is depressed, whether it be through as you're chewing or what you're chewing, as you go through it going from hot to cold, whether you're going from the coffee to the cereal and cold milk, it's going to expand and contract at the same rate or a very similar rate to the surrounding tooth structure, again, helping to preserve that margin. So those are two areas that I think really kind of have stand out over the last 10 plus years, as Grandioso had really taken that initial step, and Grandioso for you is just taking that further.
Yeah, and so getting back to function, because I think that's something that you guys have always paid so much attention to, is not just what does it look like, how easy is it for the dentist to use, but how is this going to hold up in the mouth? And it's why I've been such a fan of the VOCO products, and why I use so much Grandio block is because of the forgiveness of these materials and how they behave under function and parafunction, right?
Sure, they're so highly filled. And that is what allows us to achieve all of the rest of that, because the only negative part, or part that shows any sort of wear or shrinkage or stainage, is the carrier part, the liquid resin. So at 91% filled by solid, you eliminate a huge percentage of that.
Yeah, and that makes it great for building up, again, going back to function, because that's my jam. When you talk about opening bites and doing more so in composite materials and supporting jaw joints in, with composite materials where they can't take something out of the mouth. I mean, this is important to be able to sustain, the initial shape and position of the material that you place. So, yeah. So any other materials that VOCO is wanting to talk about? 'Cause, you have so many great materials. I know this is what's first and foremost right now, the Grandioso for you. Can we talk a minute about Grandio block?
Of course.
'Cause I love it. Yeah. So for those of you that are milling, and you can request this from your lab too, Grandio block is just such a versatile hybrid block. This thing looks like a ceramic. It polishes like a ceramic, but behaves like a composite. So for functional cases, for implants, I love it posteriorly over implants because you have that give, the things don't break, but they polish almost like a composite, almost like a ceramic. So I've had so much success with Grandio block, and I love that material.
It's part of the story of Grandioso. I mean, it's part of our evolution. VOCO is far and away a resin company.
Right.
And that is our wheelhouse. And just like all the other physical properties Russ was mentioning, Grandio block inhibits those properties.
Yeah.
It's really interesting for us, as you look at the choices of materials that are out there, and just, it was always kind of like a focus on lithium disilicate, and obviously some of the different brands of that type of material. But clearly there's a demographic that can use a material that is a little more forgiving, that has strengths in different areas, and as well as easy to work, chair-sided when it be repairs and polishing.
Right.
So we really found that Grandio blocks really landed in a spot that continues to grow as doctors kind of look at what they're using, why they're using it, and where they're using it. I think we continue to get more question, more interest in Grandio blocks as a material, because I really think it fits, whether it be the certain type of patient that might be in the chair, or the certain situation clinically that might be there. So it's definitely been a great product to work with.
And I think across all the product lines, I can always see this commitment to simplifying things while maintaining quality control.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love the Futurabond packs, just because you can't screw that up. It is almost impossible to screw up. The other thing that I learned during COVID was that while all these other people had stuff in big containers, going to distributors, you guys are always shipping everything directly from the source, right? Right from where these products are made. Yeah.
Yep, with fresh chemistry every
Fresh
time.
chemistry.
It's German engineering.
It is.
That is German engineering. The ISO packs for all our composites, obviously the single dose, to make sure that each dose is kind of the intended chemistry. And when you talk about adhesives, that's so important, is that you have the intended chemistry, without the opening, evaporation of the carrier, and all the things that can happen just through the workflow and having multiple hands involved. Things that we've seen and gotten feedback worked very well.
So I think that's a really good message about VOCO in general. It's about quality, it's about simplifying systems, and it's about just giving the dentists that work with you and follow you and use the products something that's always going to produce a quality end product. So maybe you guys should hire me as a salesperson or something.
That'd be great.
That VOCO, firsthand, does a really great job of taking the input and feedback and clinical
100%.
needs from the doctors.
How many of us sat there in that room in Germany and everyone in that room listening to us? Yeah. And it really, that says so much about a company. And the fact that people like you that have been with this company for
21 years next month.
That's amazing.
20 years. I'm going to be right behind.
My gosh. When I was a kid.
Yeah, that is amazing. Folks, dentistry is a relationship-based profession. It's relationships like this that make me love what I do with Dentists in the Know, that make me love being a key opinion leader. But just using products with companies that have people behind them that stand behind the products and can really support the products and tell me, hey, this may be for you, this may not be for you. Give me the truth in everything. And so there's a lot more to just buying a product than meets the eye. I think you really got to know the people behind it and know the commitment of the company behind it.
Sure. 25 years total in the industry for me, and dentistry drew me to it, but the people have kept me here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
All right.
amazing.
Give us the quick elevator pitch why every dentist needs to look at Grandioso for you.
I think in today's age, we're coming from the pandemic and on, it's been to continue to try to streamline, simplify, and really be more efficient with your time, so you can spend that time where it needs to be spent more so. And I think Grandioso for you is it's a new class of Universal, what Universal was always meant to be, which is something that it's one system that can replace 3 systems to really make you more efficient without sacrificing quality of the restoration or treatment that you're providing your patient.
I love
that's really the bottom line.
That's great. Reduce your inventory.
It does everything we say it's going to do.
You have
and
never,
it's beautiful.
ever put something in my hands that didn't do what you said it was going to do, because, again, this is why working with great companies means so much. If you know what I do, and you will say, Jeff, I don't know that this is for you. This may not be a product for you.
Right.
That's great. That's all. That's all we want is those kind of support systems. So, guys, always so great to see you. I love you both.
Thanks
like
so much.
You'll never know. I can't believe you've got one going to college.
Me either.
Oh my gosh.
There's 2 of us.
And
So
how's
fast.
Ellie?
Ellie's doing fantastic.
Yeah?
I cannot say it so much thanks to, obviously, you and Chad and
Oh.
everybody at Dinks. She's thriving because of the set structure that people like yourself has provided, so we are more than grateful.
It's just great to have friends like y'all in the industry. Thanks to
Right.
VOCO. And folks, if you're not familiar with VOCO products, I don't know why you're not. Great company, great products, and ask any of us in Dentists in the Know, because we've all been customers for a long time. So with that, Jeff Horowitz from the Chicago Midwinter Dental Meeting, Dentists in the Know. We'll see you guys soon.